Try not to shake that because you know the whole shabakadu. But it's so you can follow along. Can you scroll up so that like the intro is like at the top?
It's just different.
Yeah.
Look, a moment of silence for bitches that's missing the way I be kicking. That shit got them wishing that they could just copy and flaunt intuition on 695 with the key in ignition. Don't jump on the wave.
So, I don't know, maybe like a day or two ago, maybe a little further than that, I don't know. I saw Rihanna post this thing on Instagram for Fenty, new bra line or something like that. And it made me curious as to what the hell is she doing that Beyonce isn't doing? So, in this episode of UnMarketed, I wanted to discuss why Beyonce is stagnant in the fashion industry in comparison to Rihanna, who has quite literally taken the beauty and fashion industry by the balls and played dice with them. I want to begin by saying, before any of you start wilding out, because I know how y'all like to do, none of this is hate toward anyone discussed, besides maybe Beyonce's marketing team. But we'll get into that later in the video. But with Rihanna starting later than Beyonce in the music and fashion industry, she has been able to do something that Beyonce hasn't. In this episode, we'll discuss why and how I think it can be improved. In 2006, Beyonce launched her first clothing line named House of Darion. The name was adopted from her grandmother, Agnes Darion, along with her mother, Tina Knowles, who helped with the design. The clothing line included casual wear like sweatpants, jeans, and embroidered hoodies and shirts for women, juniors, and girls. But it didn't really pop until 2010 with the help of artists mentioning it in their songs like Lil Wayne.
And when you in my home, bitch, you are coming out of your house of Darion shit.
Yo Gotti.
Big red bone so thick, long hair, don't care, Darion outfit.
And The Game. Now, it was popular with Beyonce fans, obviously. The fashion industry, on the other hand, criticized the line, calling it the ugliest, cheapest looking clothes they've ever seen, and other people called it the bootleg Ed Hardy, which, I mean, look at this shit. I'm sorry. Anyway. The only reason I'm mentioning this clothing line is to establish that Ivy Park isn't her first, at bat. This is the first time that she's done anything like this. So I want to kind of put that out there so people are aware. I know some of you are at a certain age that you don't even know what a flip phone is. So I get it. No disrespect. Shout out to the Gen Z or whatever. What are they? Gen Z?
I think it's Alpha now.
Alpha what? 4 years after the end of House of Darion, Beyonce launched Ivy Park in 2016. One of the problems immediately for me from a marketing perspective is I had no idea what Ivy Park meant until I started researching for this video. How about you? Do you know?
Vaguely.
Anyway, for those still lost, the first part of the name is representative of her daughter, Blue Ivy. That part I knew / assumed. And I want to give a shout out to Blue Ivy real quick. I see those tour videos. I'm sorry for cursing too if you see this, my bad. I see those tour videos and things like that where, we really watched her grow and she out there doing the moves and all that types of shit. So that mad fly, and I just want to say shout out to Blue Ivy. But when it comes to the Park part of her name, it's representative of Parkwood, which is the neighborhood in Houston where she grew up. I had no idea that was a thing until now. And that's not because I'm not a Beyonce fan either. It's because of Beyonce's brand, bars. Anyway, let's stick with Ivy Park facts and then we'll get to my critiques of it all. Though Ivy Park launched in 2016, it wasn't until 2019 that the brand partnered with Adidas. Before we get to the Adidas sponsorship, I think it's important to know what happened between 2016 and 2019. Understitch, who's a YouTuber I'm subscribed to, helped me understand it more concisely, and I figured they could help my audience as well.
Beyonce's Ivy Park has been in the news a lot lately for not meeting its sales projections by a long margin. And though I'm a bit late to the buzz, it did get me wondering why they're failing so hard and so publicly. The company began back on the 27th of July 2014 as a limited company named Hack Rem Co., run completely by Topshop or Arcadia heads Paul Budge, Mary Homer, and Adam Goldman. There is no mention of Beyonce or her management company Parkwood in this document. However, mere days later, shares were split and Lee Callahan and James Saby, both of whom work for Parkwood, would come on board as directors. So this was clearly a pre-planned co-enterprise between Parkwood, the Beyonce-owned entertainment company, and Topshop, a British retailing giant that was very well known for being extremely fashion-forward and even used to show at Fashion Week. This would be its own full company, recently renamed to Parkwood Topshop Athletic Limited, and would be complete with its own staff, including a creative director and set of designers. The venture was slated to be a sportswear label based off of the fact that Beyonce was a known dancer, and it was set to include clothing, accessories, and footwear geared towards fashion-led fitness, which would capitalize on the growing athleisure trends of the day.
Basically, in 2014, a company called Topshop, based in the UK, created a co-enterprise with Parkwood Entertainment, Beyonce's management company. But the sales were So after 2018, Beyonce maintained exclusive rights to Ivy Park and its likeness through purchasing those rights. This brings us to 2019, when Beyonce went into a partnership with Adidas. And while you would think that would help tie her brand with sportswear, it didn't, with sales being bad there as well. This brings us to when they dropped this partnership clothing line in January 2020. It went on sale and the items cost between $25 to $250. And in 2021, it went on to have $93 million in sales. Big thing, going crazy out here. Yeah, let's go to the club, pop bottles, we going crazy. Psych! Because in 2022, they dropped $40 million after being projected to do $250 million in sales. Now, while people like to say that they split because it came time to negotiate contracts and things like that, you're gonna keep a successful brand or anything like that. I also heard it was for creative differences, so it could be a combination of both, who knows. But I do know that Ivy Park is now not a part of Adidas, and it wasn't really going too well over there. Now, the reason why Rihanna hasn't been mentioned as much is because we kind of know what Fenty is doing, but let's get into why it's doing better than Ivy Park is currently doing, or has ever been doing. With Savage Fenty being launched in 2018 off the back of Fenty Makeup or Fenty Beauty, which launched in 2017, it helped propel Rihanna into mogul status, turning Fenty into an empire. The reason Savage Fenty is successful, if any of you happen to be confused, is for a couple of reasons. One is inclusivity and diversity. When I look through Fenty's catalog, it's not just the one BBW representing for all big girls or one skin shade representing for all black people. It's a tandem of people of all different types. And the diversity doesn't just fall on the people. It's in the clothes too. There isn't just one color or one sports bra or one anything. There's different types of colors and patterns for anyone to gravitate to. So you have tons of options. Like, it's not just this bright ass pink shit on this website that don't really apply there. The second reason is Rihanna is more relatable. Let's just be real. We've probably seen Rihanna in her natural state more than any other celebrity besides Britney Spears. Can't anymore. I'm sorry, Brittany. We love you, Brittany. Congratulations on the conservatorship.
She got a book coming out.
A book? Mm-hmm. What's the book about? Like her life and shit? I think so. It might be fly.
I got an audio book.
Oh yeah, she should read that shit while she's dancing.
That's
Yeah, seriously, you probably seen Rihanna at the bodega with ASAP. Rihanna hitting the blunt. Rihanna dipping the mango in Galveston waters. That's different. I would never. But we've seen her do it is the point. Which brings us to Beyonce's play. We don't see Beyonce do nor do we know about not only Beyonce, but her brand. I mean, there's things you can Google, but I'm talking about the real kicking it in the crib, reading a book, or Beyonce falling down some fucking steps. You don't see none of her flaws. And while that's not a problem if you value privacy, which obviously she does, it is when you're trying to sell people something that isn't music related. A couple problems with Ivy Park is, one, there is nothing that ties Beyonce to the clothing line, barely even the name. When I look at Ivy Park pieces, all I see is big ass Adidas stripes, which tells me, the blind consumer, that it's more Adidas than Beyonce. And if I don't wear Adidas, I'm not buying it. More so than that, I won't know if it's an existing thing if I just see Adidas. But there is nothing, not Beyonce's name, not, I think Ivy Park is on there somewhere, but in tandem with, if I don't know what the Ivy Park is, then what the is Ivy Park? Anyway, it's a good thing that Beyonce and Adidas happen to split, but it's still available to buy on there. So I'm saying it anyway. There has to be some type of brand identity that ties Beyonce to Ivy Park or sportswear. My second reason is nothing is making people buy it. Until my research for this video, I didn't even know Ivy Park had marketing campaigns besides one, which was the winter collection that featured Gucci and not Saweetie, and that was the only reason I knew about it, because of the controversy of it featuring Gucci and not Saweetie, the So Icy girl, which, bad marketing move, by the way. Now, you may see Beyonce in the clothing during the collection photo shoots, but that's about it. I'm not even sure if she wears Ivy Park on tour. I could be totally wrong in that. If anyone knows that, then kick my back in and tell me, shut your bitch ass up, I saw her in that on tour. No problem with that. But Rihanna, on the other hand, can be seen in hers often, with the baby belly and all, right on Instagram, instantly, no pun intended, enticing people to buy it. And number three, when Ivy Park first dropped, they decided to send the full collections to celebrities. While celebrity marketing does work all the time because you are easily fooled, this further strayed Beyonce's brand from the average consumer. While this can push your core fan base away from what I saw, it can also even cause people to look at you weird if they're not a fan of you. It should have been raffled to fans or something like that, even just for the illusion of not being out of touch. But with Ivy Park being equivalent to an independent artist now, it kind of opens the door for Beyonce's brand and Ivy Park itself. My advice would be more seen. I get it. Who am I to be telling Beyonce what to do for her brand, herself, or any of that? But from a marketing perspective, the only way to get support is to either care about your product or produce the illusion that you care. Beyonce doesn't do either. She just expects you to buy it based off her name. And while that might work for her fan base, the core ones, that won't work if you're trying to do Rihanna numbers, which I believe she's trying to do with her brand. This is her second try after House of Darion, and I don't know if she's like partnered with other brands like Nike as far as like investing in some. But as far as her brand, her clothing brand, her name on it, this is her second try, and it's not going too well. The second part is whether you adhere to the first part or not, at least make your brand more you. There's nothing that ties sportswear into Beyonce besides the fact that she's a phenomenal performer. Like I said earlier, and more, I'm going to get into this now. The problem is the average consumer isn't a phenomenal performer. So there's nothing that makes your product relatable to them. There's a beehive of fans that exist. There is no reason for there to be nothing in the Ivy Park collection that includes bees. From what I can see, fine, research, maybe I'm wrong, let me know. But that's a layup during warm-ups. At least include spring colors like yellow or light blue. Not this bright-ass pink I see when I look on the Adidas website. Anyway, I do not hate Beyonce. nor do I think she is cursed in the fashion industry. I actually think that now that she's not in a partnership, it leaves an abundance of opportunity for growth in the direct-to-consumer market, fan inclusion, fashion shows, and a bunch of other that I ain't giving away for free. I want the best for our greats, and I want Beyonce to be more than just music. So believe me when I say this isn't me trying to kill one to big up another. I just was genuinely curious after seeing Rihanna make another Fenty related announcement on her Instagram, and that should be fly. Maybe they should work together, some shit like that, or
You would think they would.
there's a 6 degrees there, but
It's like one.
yeah.
Two.
So I just don't I don't understand why it's a tough thing to figure out for Beyonce. But if you have a hard time now, call me. I have some great ideas. So, you know, I just don't want Beyonce to be just the greatest performer of all time or the greatest albums of all time or no goofy like that. Not goofy. I had a CD player for you young. It's a thing that you carry and you popped open and you put a CD in and you pop it down. And then sometimes it could skip. So you might gotta tap that shit.
Don't drop it.
Yeah, don't drop it. You drop that shit. It is over.
You're gonna get
It is
3
over.
songs, the 4th one goes skip.
It's over. That B-Day went triple platinum in my household. Went triple platinum on my walks when I was little. So I don't got no problems with Beyonce. I genuinely was curious, and I just feel like there's better things to be done. Last but not least, I didn't mention it before. If there are these old ass on Beyonce's team, get those old ass off your team. The reason why I say that is because they're old ass. We not rocking with old ass today. Shout out to my old ass. Anyway, I have nothing else. If you like this video or hate my ass guts, wanna kick my back in, let me know in the comments. No, for real. Hey, yo. Yo, what is what? But anyway, thank you for watching. It was a vibe. More videos coming soon, you know. I don't really have anything else, so peace.